Drive-through workers of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone's car? A woman came through with no passenger side seat. It had been pulled out, and in its place hung a giant metal ring with an enormous cockatoo sitting on it. Thing was going mental when she pulled up. When I was working at McDonald's, one time a woman pulled up with 3 monkeys and ordered them each an ice cream cone. I still think about that from time to time. And I thought it was weird that this lady used to come through every morning and ordered a sausage biscuit for her poodle. For months, I just thought she liked sausage biscuits because she came through every day. Then one day we ran out of biscuits. She said, "Oh, that's okay," and pointed at the poodle in the passenger seat. "He only eats the sausage anyway." From then on, we saved her close to $1.50 per week on dog food because asking for a sausage patty cost less than a sausage biscuit. Once had a hearse complete with coffin pull-through followed by family and friends in the cars behind. They said the guy in the coffin always enjoyed McDonald's, so it was his final wish to be visit one more time. I once complimented a woman on her purse that was in the exact shape of a chicken. It was made of colored rubber, really unique item. She proceeds to tell me to hold on, gets out of the car and grabs an identical chicken purse and gives it to me, saying that she has been waiting for the right person to give this to. It was used and quite old. I once saw a woman roll up to the window and she must have been at a Minatrix as she had a man in the back in a leather outfit and a rubber pig mask. I can only imagine that was his kink to get embarrassed at a KFC drive-thru. Here's your 6-piece. Would you like me to humiliate him? Because I can do that free of charge. A lizard chilling on someone's dashboard being fed veggies. A cat was also in the same car. My mother used to work the drive-thru at Burger King when she was a teenager. She told me that a man used to come through some nights completely naked except for black see-through stockings. Thigh highs or all the way up. All the way up. She said his junk was squished in like a sleeping squirrel. Not me, but a friend had a customer who had a dildo in the passenger seat, which is plenty strange enough, but it was buckled in. The driver of the car did not wear a seatbelt, but the dildo did. A tortoise that took up the whole passenger seat. Well, it would have taken him too long to walk there. Worked at McDonald's, especially in drive-thru. Saw a hoarder who could only go to our McDonald's because we didn't have a sharp turn into our parking lot. Her car was too filled she couldn't use her steering wheel. Had someone with a pet pig and duck. Gave them free ice cream. Some dude was getting head. He was the driver. Couple sitting in the back seat were also doing sexual things. He was fingering her and kissing her neck. A cardboard cutout of, I shit you not, Danny DeVito. Good times. More than a dozen teenagers in a small hot boxed car. 39 cents for a cheeseburger, limit 20 was the deal. They ordered 20. I was the driver in this case, but I worked at a grocery store and our order of bananas hadn't come in. I was asked to go to another store in our chain and pick up extra bananas they had in stock. Decided to grab some food on the way back with my car packed to the brim with bananas. The cashier seemed relatively unfazed and just said, "Huh, that's a lot of bananas." When I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, this guy came through the drive-thru with a huge falcon in his passenger seat. A man pulls up with, I assume, his college-aged daughter in the front seat and I assume his wife in the back seat with a pacifier, bib, and pajamas, crying her eyes out. I was so freaking confused. He asked for extra napkins for the baby in the back. I had no idea what was happening, but I just went along with it. Handed the guy the napkins. He says thanks cause she makes a big mess when she eats and drives off. Still super confused, I just continued my day. 6 months later, I'm at a family reunion and my cousins are talking about some huge international scavenger hunt they participated in and show me the list of items and go through a drive-thru with an adult dressed as a baby in the back is one of the items to complete. It all came together, but man, I was confused when it was happening because I genuinely didn't see the daughter filming, which I assume she was cause it said you need video proof. I've looked for the video with me in it, but can't seem to find it. Back when I worked drive-thru at a McDonald's, I had this guy ordering who, number 1, took like 5 minutes to order a breakfast burrito and a drink, so I was pretty fed up already when he got to the window. When this car pulled up, I was really not expecting to see a chick wearing nothing but a bra and panties in the backseat snorting cocaine off of an iPhone. I was staring at her while I took the guy's cash and she glanced up and noticed me and ducked down a little bit. Like, babe, you're in a pretty short car. If I can see the floor from here I can definitely see you. Guy just drove off to the next window like nothing happened. Also served a lady on a horse one time and was subsequently told they had to be in a motor vehicle to come through the drive-thru, but that wasn't as strange since there are horses in our area. Chick-fil-A. A butt naked, except a hat and sandals, middle-aged long-haired guy pulls through in a Jeep with all the doors and top taken off. We still served him. No one was comfortable looking at him except for me. I was the window person. I didn't make an expression and acted like it was nothing to me, and his goofy smile faded pretty quick after the less than enthusiastic my pleasure. Everyone thought I was God. Me 1. Pervert 0. A baby kangaroo. To clarify, I live in New England and this is not normal. To be honest, I was just out of view of it, but it caused quite a clamor. A giant, industrial-sized trash bag full of nachos. It pretty much took up the entire backseat. When I asked the guy where he was going to get enough salsa for those chips, he genuinely seemed disappointed because he hadn't thought of that. Apparently the Mexican restaurant next door was throwing them out, and the guy asked if he could have them because he was stoned, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. I work at a drive-through car wash. Woman came through with a bucket of KFC mashed potatoes stuck to her window. We cleaned it off. Working night shift at Burger King, had a group of girls flash me for free food. Seemed like a fair trade at the time. Used to work at the drive-thru of Starbucks for some extra money about a year ago. I once had a couple drive up, and the girl had a bunch of bags on her and in front of her feet. From what I could tell, they were sex toys. It was like 10 bags, but I just averted my eyes and handed them their drinks. Needless to say, the guy was pretty embarrassed because he could tell I was uncomfortable. Working drive-thru at Starbucks. Some guy pulled through with car filled with boxes. He said they were filled with flashlights and offered me some. I completely forgot about it till I got off work. When I got out to my car there were 5 boxes each filled with 20 brand new Duracell flashlights still in the packaging. Had to be worth at least $500. And he had many more boxes. I wasn't the worker, but instead the driver. I pulled through while holding a live chicken that I was bringing to my sister. Slightly off topic. I used to work at a sandwich shop called Lena's, and whilst I was slicing meat one day a guy walked in and ordered his food wearing a full ghillie suit. I asked my coworkers later on and they thought nothing of it. One time someone just snorted cocaine right in front of me. That and one time someone had a duck and a towel in between her boobs. Working at a D's, we had a bunch of drunks in a Target shopping cart being pushed by another drunk person come up to the drive-thru speaker to order dinner. We couldn't serve them because they weren't in a motor vehicle. I say motor vehicle because we had someone come up to the drive-thru window on a motorized bicycle or hot rod bicycle, and we served them. Not weird by most standards, but one of my clients has the largest brownest dog I have ever seen. A Newfoundland, though large by the breed standards. So help me God, at a distance I thought this woman had a bear cub in her car. Said dog also enjoys dog biscuits, but is so gentle that she can't always keep them in her mouth. Sometimes she drops them outside the car and I have to send out a new one. I freaking love that dog. Had a regular who would come through drive-thru with a parrot that would angrily demand french fries or chicken nuggets. Varied from day to day. When at the speaker, the driver would keep stopping to tell it to shut up. Thought there was a drunk frat boy in the car with the driver the first time I came across the duo. Pretty bird. I usually saved a single french fry to give to him when I heard his familiar screaming through the headset. Worked at In-N-Out Burger for about a year. More than once we'd have people late at night pull up with opaque white windows. They roll it down to pay/collect their food and marijuana smokes just pours out. Dana White, and he had like 5 championship belts in his car. There is probably a logical reason why he had all of those. Like I know some champions weren't defending their belts and there was going to be interim fights and maybe he collects them before a fight or something, I don't know. But with the way he acts, I think it would be easy to believe he just snatches the belts from the fighters after a fight and rides around with them as an ego boost lol. One time I was working drive-thru and I could hear the bass coming from this really expensive looking Jeep with those blow under lights. We were curious as to who would pull up. It was 4 guys dressed completely like the Blue Man Group, music blaring. They didn't say anything. It was weird.